Welcome to the 21st Century Man podcast. This is your deep dive where we really try to unpack the most interesting insights from various sources, help you get informed quickly, and maybe, spark a few aha moments. In each deep dive, we're exploring a chapter from the book, The 21st Century Man. Today, we're diving into chapter 43, and this one's all about biohacking.
Yeah, and it's interesting how this chapter kicks off. It really sets up a contrast right away. It points out how our usual healthcare approach is mostly about getting sick people back to, well, normal.
Right, back to baseline. But what if you're already okay? You're healthy, feeling all right, but you suspect there's more.
Yeah.
Untapped potential.
Exactly.
And this source material positions biohacking as that pathway, the way to get from just good to something, well, something great.
That's the core idea. So our mission here today is really to unpack this chapter, pull out the key insights, the actionable ideas the author puts forward,
Yeah.
and really get a handle on what biohacking means, at least according to this particular book.
Okay, let's do it. So what is biohacking fundamentally as presented here?
Well, at its core, the book describes it as leveraging the latest science, new discoveries in human biology, and also engaging in pretty structured self-experimentation.
Self-experimentation, like what?
Things like intentional lifestyle changes, using specific supplements, trying out different therapies.
So it's not just random guesswork. It sounds like it's meant to be guided.
Precisely. Guided by science and data. And the main goal, the source really hammers this home, is optimizing performance. Physical, mental, emotional performance beyond what we might think of as typical limits.
Wow, okay. And the author suggests this could help you, what, upgrade your brain, optimize your body.
Yes, upgrade the brain, optimize the body, maybe even defer some aging processes and just, take your whole existence to the next level.
That's ambitious, and the book is quite specific about who might find this relevant, isn't it? It paints that picture of the average middle-aged man.
It does. Maybe dealing with common stuff like ongoing stress, that annoying brain fog, digestive troubles, aches and pains, sleep issues, maybe low libido, or that extra body fat that contributes to inflammation. Things many people just accept.
And biohacking, as framed here, offers a way out of that state, not just managing symptoms.
Exactly. A set of strategies to actively move away from it.
So the ultimate goal, the book says, is hitting peak performance, optimizing recovery, really enhancing things like lean muscle, hormone balance, sleep quality.
That's the idea.
Yeah.
And the author uses this term. The final destination is becoming boundless.
Boundless. Okay, what does that entail?
It means total optimization across three main areas: body, mind, and spirit. The book uses these as the three pillars of this boundless state.
Right, the three pillars. Let's break those down, starting with the boundless mind. What does the author say that looks like?
Okay, so the boundless mind. This is about achieving, like, ideal brain chemistry. Getting your neurotransmitters balanced for what the book calls flawless nervous system communication. It means a mind that's free from inflammation, free from that brain fog we mentioned.
And having better ways to cope with stress, handling cortisol better.
Exactly that. Really potent coping strategies. And the author suggests this can lead to real cognitive benefits, maybe even improvements in IQ, working memory, executive function.
Okay, those are some significant claims. How does the book suggest you achieve this? What are the tools for the boundless mind?
Well, the chapter talks about understanding how to use specific brain-enhancing foods, for one, and it also gets into nootropics. The book defines those pretty clearly. Drugs, supplements, other substances claim to improve cognitive function.
Ah, so things specifically aimed at boosting brain power.
Yes, and it mentions smart drugs too and other sort of biohackers tools. It's about intentionally influencing your brain's function.
Interesting. And what else?
Oh, and sleep. Absolutely crucial. The author stresses getting pure, uninterrupted, really efficient sleep. It's foundational for the boundless mind.
It sounds like the end result is meant to be a real feeling of control.
That's how the book frames it. Gaining power over your thoughts, your feelings, your interactions, even your communication. Basically optimizing your brain's operating system.
Okay, let's shift to the second pillar, the boundless body. This seems like where a lot of people might start.
Yeah, it's often the most tangible, right? So here the focus is on mastering how to burn fat effectively, how to get lean, and how to build muscles safely, cleanly, and in the fastest way the author suggests is feasible.
And gut health. I know that's big in optimization circles.
Huge. The book emphasizes fixing your gut, getting rid of issues like bloating or indigestion, and really maximizing how you absorb nutrients. It's presented as absolutely fundamental.
Makes sense. What about actual physical abilities? Strength, endurance?
Yep, it covers that too. Understanding dynamic movement, exercise principles, how to use supplements and foods to build strength, power, speed, balance, mobility, endurance, the whole spectrum.
A really comprehensive view of performance, then?
It is. And recovery is a big piece of it, naturally.
Of course. You can't optimize without recovering properly.
Exactly. The author talks about cracking the code on maximizing recovery speed, plus having a really vital immune system and even using tools for uh, physical symmetry and attractiveness. It's a whole body approach.
Okay, that leads us to the third pillar, which sounds maybe a bit more abstract, the boundless spirit. What falls under this according to the source?
Right. It might sound abstract, but the book ties it directly to health. It's about consciously managing your thoughts and beliefs, suggesting this has a direct positive impact on your physical state. It emphasizes practices like gratitude, love, joy, cultivating those intentionally.
And there were some less conventional methods mentioned too.
There were. The book talks about understanding and possibly using sound healing and vibrational frequencies, suggesting they can enhance physiology.
Sound healing. Okay, that's definitely expanding the definition.
It certainly shows the breadth the author is going for. This pillar also stresses optimizing your relationships, friendships, social connections, seeing them as vital for well-being.
And it even touches on intimacy, tantra.
Yes, maximizing the power of love, intimacy, sexual satisfaction. Again, maybe not what first comes to mind with biohacking, but it's part of this holistic, boundless vision in the book.
And one really interesting point here was about hidden environmental factors.
Oh yeah, that's fascinating. Addressing things you might not think about, the quality of your air, the light you're exposed to, electricity or electromagnetic fields, the water you drink, things that can subtly compromise health.
Looking at your environment with that kind of microscopic lens, that's a different level.
It's definitely a perspective the book encourages you to take. And this pillar also pulls in lessons from places known for longevity, like the blue zones. Learning from them to optimize not just lifespan, but life quality, happiness, fulfillment.
And finally, it's about daily practice.
Yes, building daily habits and routines that help you create what the author calls your perfect day in and day out.
So, putting it all together, biohacking, as laid out in this chapter, isn't just a collection of tips and tricks. It's presented as a whole system, a blueprint, really, for escaping that feeling of being tired, foggy, sluggish, and instead building the energy and vitality for a life that's more, I don't know, adventurous, joyful, fulfilling.
That's the promise. But the author's clear. This kind of optimization takes work. It requires mindful attention, dedication to self-care.
Right.
And it involves tapping into a pretty wide range of knowledge, techniques, even some specific pharmaceuticals or medical interventions discussed in the broader field.
And these strategies are constantly evolving, right? The book mentions that.
Absolutely. It describes them as strategies in development, being tested, evolving as the science evolves.
And it really draws that contrast again with the standard medical model.
Right, which is crucial for treating disease, getting sick people back to that normal baseline.
Hmm.
Whereas biohacking, in this view, is proactive. It's a systems approach aiming to take you from good, or even okay, to truly excellent.
And the source gives loads of specific examples of the tools and strategies involved. Like for the boundless body, it listed things for athletic recovery.
Yeah, a whole list. Cryotherapy, infrared sauna, deep tissue work, PEMF, that's pulsed electromagnetic field therapy, red light laser therapy, even hyperbaric oxygen. Tools specifically aimed at speeding up recovery.
And for supporting the immune system, which seems relevant to all three pillars, really it mentions specific supplements and herbs.
It did. Things like vitamin C, quercetin, CoQ10, PQQ, which it explains is pyrrolquinoline, quinone, zinc glutathione, colostrum, melatonin, and then herbs like echinacea, rosemary, oregano oil, turmeric, beta-glucans from medicinal mushrooms, an arsenal, essentially.
The chapter also mentioned weight loss approaches.
Yes, focusing on things like fasting, intermittent fasting, achieving ketosis, and importantly, cultivating healthy gut bacteria, tying gut health back to body composition.
Right. And it even included complementary therapies like acupuncture or lymphatic drainage.
Yes, suggesting those can support immune function too, alongside things like Ayurvedic detox methods.
And connecting back to the boundless spirit, there were the mind-body strategies.
Like yoga, qigong, mindfulness meditation, visualization, gratitude journaling, practical tools presented to influence that mind-body-spirit connection.
A big focus seemed to be on mitochondrial support as well. Can you unpack that a bit?
Sure. This is pretty key in anti-aging circles. The source explains mitochondria are like thousands of tiny power plants inside your cells. Protecting them is vital because things like inflammation and free radicals damage them. This leads to oxidative stress, eventually programmed cell death. And the author explicitly links mitochondrial damage to the aging process.
So keeping those cellular engines healthy is a major anti-aging strategy here, and the book listed specific anti-aging supplements.
It did. Things like NAD, that's nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide, and NR, which is nicotinamide riboside, also astaxanthin, or AX, and carnosine, compounds presented to support cell health.
And specific anti-inflammatories that biohackers apparently favor.
The source highlighted curcumin from turmeric and alpha-lipoic acid. It explains their role as protecting against that mitochondrial breakdown, aging, and excessive immune responses.
And then there's the practical side of just reducing your daily toxic exposures.
Yeah, stuff you can actually control in your home environment. Using a good HEPA air filter, switching to natural cleaners, dealing with any mold, drinking filtered or spring water, cutting down on home and garden chemicals. It really loops back to those hidden variables in the Boundless Spirit pillar, showing how interconnected it all is.
What really stands out from this chapter is how dynamic the author portrays this whole field. It's not static at all.
Not at all. The book really emphasizes that. The science is changing constantly, new breakthroughs are happening. Sometimes we're rediscovering ancient wisdom, secrets of our ancestors, as the book puts it, and other times old ideas just get replaced by better research.
It's definitely a field in motion.
Absolutely. And biohacking, in this context, is presented as using your own intelligence, careful observation, trying non-toxic therapies when you can, and just leveraging the latest strategies to push your own boundaries and maximize your health potential. It's actually quite an empowering perspective the book offers.
And as the chapter itself notes, and as we've kind of just demonstrated, this field is massive. The sheer amount of information is huge.
It really is. And the author of The 21st Century Man acknowledges that, even recommending another specific book for a deeper dive, Boundless by Ben Greenfield, which tells you this chapter is really just an introduction to a vast landscape.
Yeah, we've really only scratched the surface of the framework and the details presented in Chapter 43 of The 21st Century Man. But it gives you a fascinating glimpse into this idea of moving beyond just not being sick, towards actively optimizing everything, body, mind, spirit, striving for that boundless state through these intentional strategies and self-experimentation.
It's really a call to take more agency, more control over your own biology and your environment, using the principles the author lays out as a guide.
It definitely leaves you with a lot to think about. And maybe for you listening, here's something to chew on, drawn right from the material. How much do you really think consciously managing your thoughts and beliefs, that boundless spirit stuff, actually impacts your physical health in real measurable ways, from the perspective we just discussed? Or maybe think about this. How significant are those hidden variables? The book mentions the air quality, the water quality, and truly reaching peak health. It's certainly something to consider based on what this chapter suggests. And remember, this exploration is just one chapter. If this deep dive into biohacking caught your interest, we really do encourage you to check out the full book, The 21st Century Man. The depth that goes into across all these different areas is pretty remarkable. It guides you chapter by chapter through so many vital topics for modern life, a resource you might find incredibly valuable.
Yeah, absolutely. Reading the book lets you see how all these pieces fit together in the author's larger framework and explore the strategies in much more detail.
Okay, that wraps up our deep dive into Chapter 43, Biohacking. We hope you found this exploration useful and maybe a little inspiring. Join us next time on the 21st Century Man podcast, where we'll be digging into Chapter 44, The Truth About Tobacco. See you then.